So I think we are ready to start. Good evening, everyone. I'm Marc Mckillop. I'm the program officer at Flat6 Labs, and I have the privilege of managing the Climate Finance Accelerator in Egypt. It's a pleasure to be your host today as we delve into the exciting world of climate finance and innovation. Now, let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. We will start by the welcome remarks and opening speech by Mckillop, political and economic counselor at the British Embassy in Cairo. And then introduction to the CFA program by Federica, Chiappe, CFA Global Team Lead, PwC, UK. And myself, I will be sharing the CFA in Egypt and the selection criteria. Then sharing from past projects and investors in Egypt and across the CFA Global Network. And it will be followed by the next steps and how to apply by Shreena, the CFA Egypt Country Lead at PwC UK. And then we'll open the floor for Q&A for 15 minutes. And last but not least, the closing remarks will be by Yehia, Houry, the Chief Program Officer at Flat6 Labs. Before we dive in, a few housekeeping items. So this main session will be recorded via Zoom for your convenience. And to ensure your display name is correct using the format, please do it first name, second name, and your organization. You can just do this by finding yourself in the participants window and clicking on more and then rename. Feel free to submit your questions anytime during the session using the chat function on the right-hand side of the screen. Please choose send to everyone, and I will address them during the Q&A section. Now, let's kick off our agenda. I will now pass the floor to our first speaker for today, Mckillop, political and economic counselor, British in Embassy in Cairo, for his welcome remarks and opening speech. Neil, the virtual stage is yours. I think there is a small technical issue from joining from Neil. So just giving us 1 minute to check this. One, 4, 7. Okay. So I think for now, I will skip the opening remarks and I will go to Federica. So as we move forward, it's my pleasure to introduce Federica, who serves as the global team lead for the Climate Finance Accelerator at PwC. Federica brings a wealth of experience and expertise to the table, guiding the CFA program on a global scale. Federica, the virtual floor is yours to share with us your insights into the CFA program.
Thanks so much, Marc. Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to be here with you today. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for attending. My name is Federica Chiappe. I'm the team lead of the Global Climate Finance Accelerator, working with PwC UK, as Marc mentioned. I've had the great pleasure of working very closely with the teams in across all countries, but in particular Egypt for the last year and a half or so. And I'm super pleased that we're launching today our second phase of the CFA in the country. So the Climate Finance Accelerator is a 4-year technical assistance program funded by the UK government's Department for Energy Security and Net Zero. We're now really happy to be working in 10 countries. Apart from Egypt, we work in Vietnam, Pakistan, Uganda, Turkey, Peru, Mexico, Nigeria, and South Africa, and Colombia. The program is globally led by PwC UK with support from Ricardo. And we have the real pleasure of working with Flat 6 Labs as our local delivery partner. Back one. So what we do is to work with 3 stakeholder groups to help address some of the key challenges that are inhibiting the flow of finance to countries and in particular to low carbon projects. Firstly, given the insufficient pipeline of bankable projects, what we do is to find projects and provide capacity building to project developers to make them their propositions more attractive to investors. Secondly, as project proponents struggle to access finance, on the other hand, also financiers struggle to identify bankable and promising projects. We facilitate these connections at events in Egypt and also internationally. Finally, recognizing there are enabling environment barriers that are really impacting that flow of finance, we recommend practical solutions to policymakers from the experience in delivering the CFA, and also we help to embed the program in the country ecosystem. This is really a quick overview, but the team will give you much more information about what that means for the country, so implementation in Egypt. Next slide, please. So we're really happy with the progress in the of the CFA program in the last 3 years. This slide just really attempts to tell the story in numbers. We've sourced a pipeline of more than 150 projects, so low carbon projects, with a combined ask of over $3 billion US dollars. And these projects have been selected from over 1,300 proposals in 23 calls for proposals across our 10 countries. We have then delivered tailored capacity building support in 3 technical areas, so investment readiness, climate impact, gender equality, and social inclusion. We've also convened a number of workshops with over 4,000 people in more than 200 financial institutions. And we're really happy that we have been able to support and contribute to closing some deals in over 28 projects or have reached advanced stages of funding. I hope that we're able to add some of the Egypt projects to these successes very soon. In terms of legacy value, we've also engaged policymakers to begin the process of embedding the CFA in our different countries and ensuring the sustainability of the program. I'll now pass back to Marc. We'll have much more information about what that means for the Egyptian context. And thanking you so much again for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Federica, for providing us with such a comprehensive overview of the CFA program globally. Your insights into the program structure and goals are truly valuable for us. Thank you so much for that. And now back again to Neil. Welcome, and Neil Mckillop, Political and Economic Counsellor at the British Embassy in Cairo, will be giving his welcome remarks and opening speech. I know it's a bit late, but welcome, Neil. the virtual stage is yours.
Thanks, Marc, and thanks, Federica, for stepping in and giving the opening remarks. I guess the reason, first of all, congratulations to everybody for getting to this stage, for showing an interest. It's a super exciting thing to be a part of. We talk a lot at this embassy about a green partnership between the UK and Egypt, and that was originally born out of our back-to-back presidencies of COP26 and COP27. And I remember going to various events and saying, I promise when COP26 and COP27 are over, this will continue to be a thing. We're not just going to abandon our work on green issues in Egypt. And we are now through COP26 and COP27. And here we are launching our second cohort for the Climate Finance Accelerator. So I hope that we have come good on that promise. I think the reason we throw our weight behind this project, its beauty is in its simplicity, if you like. That what we're here to do is to support entrepreneurs, creative people who want to do exciting things in the green space, and we want to give technical support to people and hopefully in the end financial support to people in order to do that. And sometimes it's really hard to understand what a project is designed to do and what the outcomes are and how you measure them. The really cool thing with this program is it's not that hard, right? We come up with a great idea, we try and give people support, and then we try to link them up with funding, and that to me is why it's so appealing. And I think last year we saw so many interesting, innovative projects that we were able to support, working on AI projects in agriculture, eco-friendly building materials in construction, enhancing farm management project techniques, all really sort of simple things, or some quite complicated, but which need to be done in a green and sustainable way. And that's why we're so happy to throw our weight behind the project. I had the pleasure of going to London last year with some partners from Egypt, but also from in countries where our project's a bit more mature and where people are actually getting funding from financiers. And that was really great to see, and really motivated me to make sure that we got this project through and that the second cohort got up and running so people could take advantage of the offer. So I hope that for those on the line who are thinking about putting in a bid, that you'll be motivated to do so, you'll be excited to do so. I'm thrilled that we've got various government departments here joining us, from the Environment Ministry, from International Cooperation, from Finance. It's great to have such dependable partners in the Egyptian government. So really, I just wanted to wish everybody well and say that our old friends, Flat 6, we're really happy to be working with you guys on this project. You've got a stellar reputation here in Cairo, and we're thrilled to be teaming up with you. So thank you so much to everybody for all of the work that you're putting in. I'm really looking forward to seeing projects develop and ideas develop and people come together, and then hopefully some funding before too long. So thank you very much, and thank you to Amira, who's hiding off this here in the team, who's actually the brains behind all of this. So thank you very much. I hope today's session goes well, and I look forward to following progress and doing whatever we can to support from the embassy.
Thank you so much, Neil. It's our pleasure. And thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and providing such a warm welcome. And we appreciate your dedication to the cause of climate change and the significant role that the British Embassy Cairo plays in supporting initiatives like the Climate Finance Accelerator. Your remarks have set a positive tone for our event today. Thank you so much for that. Okay, now I will be talking about the CFA in Egypt and the selection criteria. So in Egypt, we have the British Embassy in Cairo leading the charge in promoting the Climate Finance Accelerator in Egypt. Their commitment has been instrumental in receiving support from ministries and business associations. This effort is encouraging more applications from diverse projects and fostering engagement from both international and Egyptian financiers. And Flat 6 Labs is proud to be the in-country delivery partner of the CFA program in Egypt. We are here to work closely, coordinating efforts with experts, project developers, financiers, and other stakeholders throughout the application, project selection, and capacity building phases. This delivery is further supported by key partners like PwC and Ricardo. But what makes the CFA program so impactful for project developers? Well, it's not just a program, it's an opportunity. Projects participating in the CFA can get access to potential investors, undergo capacity building, build valuable network, raise the profiles, and contribute to achieving climate mitigation and other future goals. And that's not all. CFA offers additional benefits for financiers also. Access to low carbon projects, innovative financing opportunities, an increased stakeholders network, and the chance to share knowledge and skills. It's a holistic approach to sustainable finance. And importantly, the CFA program actively supports the Egyptian government in achieving its climate goals. This includes developing a pipeline of bankable low-carbon projects, identifying barriers and enablers for climate finance flows, offering solutions to finance challenges, and engaging in vital discussions on climate change. For those considering participating in the CFA program, this employs 4 main criteria for project selection. Projects must demonstrate climate mitigation potential and to be at least in the pre-feasibility stage and seeking investments with a minimum financing need of $1 million and have positive impacts related to gender equality and social inclusion. The CFA Egypt program is starting to support low-carbon projects across a variety of sectors, including the blue economy, the energy, transportation, industry and manufacturing, construction technology, waste and wastewater, real estate, agriculture, forestry, and technology, including IoT. Now let's quickly look at our phase 1 of CFA Egypt. Last year, we launched the call for proposals at the start of October and received 41 applications by the end of November. After going through our selection criteria process, which Shreena will go over soon, we selected 8 innovative low-carbon projects who received support through the capacity building process to help them access finance from investors. Startups like El Dawara, Farmtopia, Renile, Green Fashion, and Zara have been making waves in sectors such as renewable energy, resource energy efficiency, waste management, AFOLU, industry and manufacturing, and decarbonizing construction. These projects range in terms of their maturity and had a project ticket size ranging from $450,000 to $25 million. The CFA were able to provide these projects with the varied support that they needed. Highlighting milestones, we hosted an in-country event during phase 1 that was attended by 13 project members, 8 investors, government agencies, and it featured opening remarks from the Honorable Rania El-Mashad, who is the Minister of International Cooperation for the Egyptian government. This day was split into a morning session dedicated to deep dives. We heard our project pitches and reflected on 3 presentations with investors and other stakeholders. Now, to provide a first-hand account of the journey, I'm delighted to pass the floor to Hazen, the CEO of Renile, one of our esteemed alumni startups. Hazem, please share your experience from phase 1 with us. The floor is yours.
Hello all, and thanks Marc for your introduction and your presentation. It's Hazem Talal. I am the CEO and founder of Renile. Renile, we are an agri-tech company building IoT solutions for agriculture that we are manufacturing locally here in Egypt. The full solution for IoT, starting from the sensors till the data analytics for the farm itself, and saving more than 20% of the operating cost for all of our farmers. It was a pleasure to be one of the alumni and one of the first part of the CFA. In the last cohort, we learned a lot of capacity building. That I think it was the first time for me to know more about the ESG framework from environmental, social, and governance framework, which we added for all of our pitches nowadays, and knowing more about the climate investors or environmental investors or something. Also, one of the objectives for CFA last year or last cohort is trying to make all of the startups bankable, from the accounting part and having all of the accounting part to be connected with banks and something like this. And we connected already with 3 of banks from CFA. So I think the second cohort will be more matured from the first cohort because it's a second iteration. And for sure, all of the team and all of the cohort coming nowadays will be more supported than Renile and all of our colleagues, and more networks. And I think the network from the closing day is the most thing that we are generated and that we are earned from this program. So thank you, Marc, and the floor is yours now.
Thank you, Hazem, for sharing. Thank you so much for your insights and experience from CFA phase 1. It's really inspiring to witness the impact that our startups are making in the climate finance sector. Thank you so much for this. Now, before we proceed further, I have something special to share with you. We have a video that offers a glimpse into the incredible initiatives supported by AK Bank and Finance in Motion from CFA Turkey.
CFA provides an environment that we can meet with investors. And also we have the chance to cooperate with other financial institutions. In this program, we hear from the players of the market. We share our knowledge with them. We share our experiences. Simply, we learn from each other about the climate. And also we learn how to act for the climate. I believe know-how developed for the climate can be easily spread to the other countries with the help of this CFA program. If we want to help our climate and our sustainability, we will need new innovative technologies. Conventional ones will not be enough to recover our nature. These new technologies should be understood by the banks and verified by them. Engineers are doing a great job with these new projects. But banks' finance people should also understand these new technologies, these new projects, and they have to feel confident for their feasibility. We are excited that within this program, we received many innovative projects. And I believe in the future, we will be having more coming with the CFA program.
Our organization greatly benefited from the CFA program. First of all, the 3-day virtual event was a very well-organized program, which brought together interesting projects with a diverse group of investors. We got exposure to highly innovative projects and expanded our network. We were also very interested to hear the CFA's report about the green financing landscape in Turkey. Overall, the program provided a very good platform for exchange about challenges and opportunities in the green finance area in Turkey.
Perfect. Now I will leave you with Shreena. She is the CFA Egypt country lead to tell you more about the next steps and how to apply. Shreena, the virtual mic is yours. Shreena, I think we can't hear you.
Hello, are you able to hear me now?
Perfect.
Perfect. I saw loads of smiles then. So yeah, hello. Thank you everybody for joining. And as Marc said, I'm the country lead for Egypt. It's a pleasure to see so many people on the call today. And yeah, thank you for your attendance and your engagement as well, despite us starting a little late than expected. Perfect. Thank you, Marc. So as my colleagues have already mentioned, this event marks sort of the launch of phase 2 of the CFA in Egypt. And during a typical phase of the CFA, we would have 4 stages. So this is split out into the call for proposals, project selection, capacity building, and we end with an in-country event. As Marc has already mentioned, we've conducted this process in Egypt before. And at the end of last year through to the summer of this year, there were so many learnings that we've seen along the way while working with our projects such as Renile. This phase will incorporate some of those key learnings from phase 1. And we've adapted our approach slightly for phase 2 to ensure that our activities meet the demand of the country's key stakeholders and that we're responding to the unique challenges and opportunities that we have in Egypt. We are very excited to be launching the next phase of the programme and have already opened our call for proposals, as you can see, on the 13th of December, and this will run until early February. So projects that apply will go through a robust project selection process where applications will be reviewed by our financial, technical, and gender, equality, and social inclusion experts against a set criteria. We will then select 8 to 12 of the most promising low carbon projects from that. And those selected projects, so the 8 to 12 selected projects that we just spoke about, will receive capacity building throughout March to July of next year. And this aims to support, the support aims to support projects to be more attractive to investors and for them to also incorporate gender, equality, and social inclusion considerations into their planning. So what does this process actually include? So this includes one-to-one sessions and a series of cohort webinars with our technical experts. So our financial experts will look through the project's financial models and business plans in detail to identify any areas that can be strengthened to help them attract investors. They will provide advice on the things that investors look for in a project and help our projects to structure their investment requirements. Our technical experts will help projects to communicate their proposition effectively to investors, those who are not often experts on the detail. They will also provide projects with the technical advice on their project structure and their business plan too. Our gender equality and social inclusion expert, or GESI expert, will explain the benefits of maximizing inclusion in our selected projects' business development plans, as well as giving them loads of tools and help for them to write a GESI action plan for their business, helping them to identify risks, opportunities, and entry points to increase their social impact. Climate and environment experts will help projects to understand and explain to investors the tangible climate benefits of their project in the short and long term. And on top of all of this, projects will also receive advice on how to present their project to investors before having the opportunity to practice this in front of our financial experts before that in-country event. And again, like I mentioned at the end of this journey, we'll hold a final in-person event in July 2024, where our lucky projects will meet a range of Egyptian advisors who will listen to your pitches and provide you with further advice. I think we can move on to the next slide. Thanks, Marc. So how can you get involved? So the CFA isn't just for projects. So again, for our project developers though, please keep an eye out for our call for proposal communications. This has been publicized through both the CFA and Flat 6 Labs LinkedIn pages and Flat 6 Labs website and other social media platforms as well, such as X or Twitter. And when we circulate the slides after this event, we'll also share the link to the call for proposals form, and we'll keep your details on our system to send you reminders over the next few weeks when to apply, or how to apply, sorry. And for our business associations, please share the CFA with your members who might be interested in our activities and refer any relevant projects to apply if you think they'll be suitable. For our financiers on the call, we can support you in identifying a pipeline of investable projects that you might want to invest in. So please do share your views with us, and you can do this by responding to our investor survey. So if you haven't received this already, we can circulate this to you after the event, and the information that we receive in this will help us to tailor the types of projects we accept and to bring you in at the event at the start of next year. And last but not least, our government of Egypt, you play a key role in supporting the CFA and continuing to publicize the work of the CFA in Egypt and working towards creating an enabling regulatory environment that will ensure that the phase 2 runs smoothly and it achieves strong impact for our projects. And if you do have any questions after this or would like to work together with us on phase 2 of the program, please feel free to reach out to myself or the rest of the CFA Egypt team. But yeah, thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you on this. And the mic is back over onto you, Marc.
Thank you so much, Shreena. It was very helpful. And now I think we will open the floor for the Q&A. So thank you all for your engagement and participation so far. Now we would like to hear from you guys. We are opening the floor for questions. Whether you have inquiries about the Climate Finance Accelerator, insights from our speakers, or anything else related to our discussion today, feel free to ask. We have a dedicated 15 minutes session to answer all your questions. Please use the chat function on the right-hand side of your screen to submit your questions. Choose send to everyone, and I will do my best to address each and every one of the questions.
I can see that we have a few remarks in the Q&A so far. So for those of you who are trying to maybe unmute yourself to speak, we haven't allowed this function, so please do type your questions in the chat.
Okay, I think Ali is asking, is it for early stage 2? So I'm not sure if it was before I do the selection criteria or not, but let's hear again. The selection criteria for this one is regarding the financing. It's for the startups who are currently fundraising up $1 million. No more questions?
So I think we might have a few questions coming in. Sorry, I think it's just updating as I'm going along. So does the startup should be registered? I'm assuming that means does a project need to be registered?
What do you mean, Abdelhamid, by that the startup should be registered? We have we opened the call for application early this week, so definitely we have to register so we can review your application, and then we will get back to you whether if you are accepted or rejected.
Marc, should I help in replying to a couple of the questions that I see open? I think one from Omar around sovereign loan. So in general, we do accept applications from governments, from municipalities. I think it's a matter of understanding if in general the other kind of criteria fit. But we'll be very happy to consider the project, and if you want to provide some more detail also to the team in the coming days, we can maybe organize a quick call just to check if there's alignment and what we can do to help. But yes, in general, blended finance structuring are definitely very, very welcome, and actually really helpful to move forward with some of the climate goals. So happy to hear more from you. Let me know if that's answered or if you have any additional questions. Maybe I'll move to Ahmed Hamza. Great to see you again, and thanks so much for your engagement at the event and in the previous phases. We're really looking forward to engaging more with you in this coming phase. So we've sent out an investor survey just to gauge interest from investors and other kind of programs on how you would like to be involved in the program in this particular phase. So let us know if there's anything we can do in the meantime.
I can go for Ali. Is it required that the entire team be fluent in English, or can the team be combined Arabic and English? Definitely. It's not mandatory to be very fluent in English. It can be combined between Arabic and English, 100%. Hamid is asking, I have the project, but I didn't have registered yet my company. Actually, we can help you in registering your company. It's not a problem if you are not registered. You definitely can still apply. And but we need to know first your stage, if it fits our selection criteria or not. Ahmad Shawi is asking the minimum funding of $1 million over years it should be spent. I'm not sure you mean the funding that you think that the CFA will be funding $1 million, but what we mean here is you have to be fundraising already $1 million, or you need $1 million to be spent over the next 18 months. How many winning projects and categories in this initiative? So this program will be between 8 and 12 startups. يس عبد الحميد، أنا أقصد مش مسجلة في شركة. أنا فاهم أنت مش مسجلها كشركة، عشان كده بقول لك إحنا ممكن نساعدك إن أنت تسجل الشركة، فده ما يمنعش إن أنت ممكن تأبلاي برضه. I think this is the same answer for Nermeen. Is the project must be implemented. Hamid, I have an MVP. I know you can be very early stage, but still you are fundraising $1 million because of your product or your software, whatever you will be needing for the next 18 months. And we will assess this and see if you really need this $1 million, then you are applicable and to join our program. it will be relevant to our selection criteria. International organizations is also eligible to apply. To apply as part of the stakeholder to help the projects or the startups, definitely yes. I can share with you a Google form to fill it out, and I will tell you more about the program, and you will tell me if you have time to help the startups during this phase or not.
Marc, I don't know if the question was whether international organizations can apply as projects. Like, I think if an international organization has a project that meets the criteria and there is kind of a match in terms of what we can provide to them, the important is that the project is implemented in Egypt. It could be also implemented also in other countries, but definitely kind of a core feature in Egypt. So just checking that. But yes, of course, Marc, on the point around being engaged to provide support to other businesses, yes. It's just maybe the question on whether we're talking about a project or not as a project. I think yes, if sort of the criteria match, so mitigation, at least in pre-feasibility, at least $1 million and positive impact. Yeah, and of course you can double check with the team if yeah, everything matches. Thanks. Back to you, Marc.
I think there is no more questions. We can wait for the 1 minute if anyone has another question. No other question, guys? I didn't get this point. Does it need to be implemented already, or it need to be still on the paper? Okay, we can help in the implementation of the project. There's a lot of projects who are not already incorporated, but it must fit the criteria, our selection criteria, which is you are currently fundraising $1 million, that you need $1 million to be spent over the next 18 months. And also definitely that you have support to the climate. I'm not sure if it's clear for you now, Mahmoud.
Sorry, Marc. I'm happy to just add to this. I think we're talking about like an overall ticket size of the program. I think what we have seen like a lot of different types of projects. So projects that, for example, are looking for seed funding of, you know, they already maybe have pre-seed funding, looking for seed funding of around that size, and then with the perspective of growth in the future. I think it really depends on the business model and the financial plan that you have. So I would say the indicative size that of your project would need to be sort of $1 million of more or less an immediate ask. So I think, yeah, 18 months, I guess, is a little bit dependent on the type of project, sector, business model, etc. But Marc, I don't know if you have any kind of particular examples from Egypt that might fit that sort of 18 months. Sorry, and maybe just a quick clarification in general. Just to be clear, so the program is a capacity building program. So we really support the projects with capacity building events. We have a large network of projects across our countries, expertise, both domestic and international. We don't, however, provide direct funding. So we don't provide sort of grants, for example, for participation. We facilitate projects through capacity building and event engagement to access the right type of investment for your kind of phase of development of your program. And we really hope that, also working with partner institutions and other programs and funders, you will increase your probability of accessing finance. So just wanted to maybe make that clarification because it's not always kind of clear to applicants. So if this is what you're looking for, and we have seen multiple benefits in this across all our countries, then yeah, do apply. We'll be happy to evaluate your proposal. So maybe, I don't know if that 1 million being spent was maybe a little confusion on what the program is able to support, but just wanted to make sure that this is kind of understood. Thanks.
Thank you, Federica. It's very clear, very helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we are good with the Q&A. And still, if you have any question, please let us know. You can write on the chat, and we can even answer at the end. And also, as Shreena said before, if you have any question, you can let us know. You can reach out by email, on social media, whatever you want, and we reach out to you with the answer. Okay, so as our event draws to a close, I'm honored to introduce a key figure whose insights and leadership have been instrumental in the success of the Climate Finance Accelerator. Yehia, Houry, the Chief Program Officer at Flat6 Labs, will now share his final remarks. Yehia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Marc, and thank you for the praises. I mean, let's see how it goes after the second cycle goes through. But really, thank you everyone for being here with us today. There were some great questions from the audience, which I think is a very good sign in terms of the interest for the program. I mean, as my colleagues mentioned earlier, we're very proud to be the in-country delivery partner for the CFA program in Egypt for the second phase. This gives us the opportunity to renew our ties with the UK government and the British Embassy in Egypt, but also to expand our partnership with PwC across the region. And Neil's praises were far too generous. We hope we live up to the task. Flat6 Labs, for those who don't know us, has been supporting over 200 green tech, clean tech, and agri-tech startups with 5 programs across the MENA region. Our portfolio of startups has successfully raised hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years from impact investors supporting this field, but also other stakeholders, and it makes us ready to support projects during this second phase of CFA Egypt. I know the time today was a little bit limited, but I hope that our discussions have sparked an interest in businesses and project developers and entrepreneurs for our call for proposals. It doesn't stop there, of course, and we're going to do a lot more outreach, but we're hoping this is a starting point. And again, just as a reminder, the call for proposals is now open until February. I always have an ask of our stakeholders. I really would love for this time to call for the collective support of the investors and the financiers present here, but also in the ecosystem, to support these entrepreneurs who truly are making an impact in a world that we know needs a lot of innovation in order to reverse a lot of the negative climate change effects that we currently have. As Federica mentioned, we've already reached out to a few of the stakeholders to help inform the selection criteria for the project in phase 2, and we look forward to more frequent dialogues throughout the rest of this phase for CFA Egypt. We also hope, and we're very glad to see, several government agencies and business associations present with us today. So we hope to receive your continued support to promote, Egypt towards a goal of encouraging investment flows into low carbon projects. And finally, and as we come to the end of this launch event, I'd love to extend my thanks to the participants who joined us today, not only from Egypt, from all over the world, the UK government, the British Embassy, the PwC team, and the CFA Egypt team as well for organizing the event. For me, I think the CFA initiative, clearly reaffirms the UK government's continued support to help Egypt accelerate its transition to a low-emission economy and to contribute to creating a sustainable future for all. This is only really the first step, and the challenges ahead are quite significant. But so too are the opportunities to actually create a better, greener world in our commitment to accelerate transition to a low-carbon economy, harnessing innovation and collaboration to drive positive change. Thank you again, everybody. And Marc, thank you for emceeing. I'll give you back the virtual mic to close. Thank you.
Thank you, Yehia. And a sincere appreciation to all our speakers, participants, and partners for joining us today. The journey towards sustainable climate finance is a collective effort, and your engagement is key to its success. On behalf of the entire CFA team, I extend our deepest gratitude for your participation. Let's continue working together to make a positive impact on the climate landscape. Thank you, everyone, and I look forward to our continued collaboration. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.